to the show, bro.
Thanks for having me, man.
I appreciate it. How you been, man? How's everything been going, man? Before we get into your race, before we get into any talking about running, how are you, my brother?
You know, another day in life.
How's it? How's work? How is it dealing with kids, man? How's your, how are you able to stay mentally sound when I know you be dealing with so many young minds?
Really? I mean, it's just run and hoop. I mean, that's my outlet pretty much. You know, I have an occasional crash out, but that's pretty much it.
That's dope, man. That's dope. So, I mean, you speaking about it, man. I mean, last time you were here, you were on a journey to get ready to do something that only few people could really do. You got to be a true athlete to get out here and do these things. And you were running 60 miles. And, many people who know you, they know the results. But here, for those people who don't know you, so how was that, man? What did you finish first off? Was this something that you finished?
I did finish. It was hard. It was a lot of bullshit. It was. I would say it's more mental than anything. Like, you could probably be the best athlete, best in shape in the world, but if you ain't got the mentality to finish, you ain't gonna finish. Because like that, being on your feet for so long, it's just like, and then you just, and then, you might be running with people, but at the end of the day, you're running alone. You got your own thoughts. You got to think about, I ran for 12 hours. So just imagine what you think about in the 12 hours that you're running. So, I mean, I finished, so I'm here now.
How did it, was there any points in that 60 miles that made you feel like you were ready to quit?
Yeah, for sure. Probably around mile 40 something. I was all alone. It was like a straightaway. I think we was in Davis or something. And all my runners was like way ahead of me. And like I was just alone. I was just everything was just like bullshit. I was pissed off. I was walking. And then, but, at the end of the day, I can't let people down either. Like, people are counting on me to finish a race. So I just kept going. And then, even 2 miles before the end of the race, I wanted to quit. But I just got up and I was like, all right, I'm going to just do it and finish it. And then as soon as I finished it, I was fine. But that's the strange part, but,
So that kind of like brings me to this question. If you were struggling in that 60, around 40 miles in, you was walking, you was thinking about quitting. What in the world would push you to want to go out here and now complete 100-mile run? That's just madness. I mean, when you've told me about 60, my mind exploded. But now we're talking about 100 miles. There's no reason to do this. You don't have to prove that you did 60. We're proud of you. But why 100?
I mean, what's after 60?
61. It's 61. 61's after 60.
I mean, you think about it, you're just like, all right, I'm going to do triple digits. And then for me, after that 100, I'm probably going to stop doing long distance, to be honest. Unless my son eventually grows up and is like, oh, let's do 100, then I'm like, all right. But it's more so, like how many people that say they could do 100 miles?
You the only person I know. That's it. I don't have
exactly my point. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna be in a room full of people, and I just know I'm gonna stand out. Even in silence, like, oh, I did 100. When people could barely do 1 mile. So it's just and I like torturing my body. So
yeah. You said that last time too. You put an emphasis, and that even brings me up to the question of, not only are you getting ready to run 100, people that know currently right now you're injured. You can't hoop 100% like you want to. I mean, right now you're, we're going to get to this a little bit later, but of course right now it's like your body is beat up, young blood. Like, what is, like, why now? Why does it have to be now? to push this 100 at a, messed up body, you feel me? What is it about now that makes it important?
Really, so a little background. After my 60, Christmas comes around, and I tell my grandpa, I'm like, I'm gonna run 100 miles. And at the time, he was a little sick and stuff, and I was like, I'm gonna run to you, from Vallejo to Clear Lake, 100 miles. And then, he ends up passing away, and it got to me a little bit, and like I disappointed myself because I didn't make it up there for him to see me. He never seen me run, so like I'm kind of doing it in his honor. Like if I keep pushing it back, and then just my body gets worse, and I'll probably never be able to even attempt to do 100. So it's kind of a now or never thing, and then hopefully he's just with me. And, he carries me when the tough gets tough. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's man. That is really a good reason to do it. I love that. That's awesome. But so you're gonna do 100 miles, and obviously it takes a lot of preparation to do 100 miles. So can you kind of like talk us through like that preparation first off with like, how early, if someone was to want to start doing something like this, to take on a challenge like this, how early should they start training?
I mean, from what I've looked up, at least, a year to 2 years. Just because, you got to build up the miles. I mean, 100 miles ain't, a walk in the park. You running for sure, at least, I mean, the fastest person did, I think, like 12 hours or 15 hours. But, I plan on doing it for 24. And you can't just, walk outside and be like, oh, I'm going to do, 100 miles. I mean, maybe you can. There are some people, I'm pretty sure, that can do it. Since I've been hurt, I had to keep pushing back my training. So really, I ain't start till mid-January. Races in May. That's a few months only. And and my body's a wreck, but I think I got enough heart in me to finish. Even with the lack of training, I just try to make sure I get my long runs in every weekend, and just vibe out.
Dang. So ideally, I mean, I've always known as a runner, when you're building up to that race, or at least let me not say known, but I've always often heard that you never quite run the amount of the distance that you're trying to eventually run, right? Like, if you're doing a 5K, maybe you train and you do 2 miles or something like that, to kind of build up so that the day of you could put all of that energy into that percentage. But when you are doing these trainings, how many miles do you particularly run? Like, or how does the breakdown work? Like when you're on week 1, what is that amount? How much miles are you running then till probably when you're at week 11?
I mean, I don't even know because my training is horrible. Like I'll run 1 mile every day, and then on the weekend I'll go bust out a 20 miler. So, like I'm not the person to follow when it comes to training. You see, I do dumb shit all the time, without thinking. So, but like, I mean now, I was supposed to do 17 today and 17 tomorrow, but I did 10 today and I'm gonna do 17 tomorrow. So that's like, a typical weekend running, unless I got a long run. Like 2 weeks from now, I got to do a 50 miler, in one day. So, I mean, and training for 100, I don't got the time to even get to an 80 miler. So, I'm just going to, hopefully 50, 60 miles in one run gets me that extra 40 when the time comes. And then, just
just hope you can get through it.
Yeah, just hope.
That sounds wild. Like to get to probably like 60, right? And just be like, now the rest of this is just on pure faith. Like
Yeah. I mean, like after the 60, I sat down and I was like, man, I could probably do another 10 if I really had to.
Right.
But I mean, that's runner's logic. You think you could do more when you stop running. It's like, oh well, my brain just tricked me out.
How long do you sit down when you start? Because like for me, as like a very intermediate / beginner, like runner, like not up to the level you are at this moment, like I would be like, as soon as I'm done, I'm like, woo, done, good. I ain't got to do nothing. I'm feeling accomplished. But for you to be like, oh, I could have did 10 more. Like, how much rest do you get to where you could be like, yo, I could probably get 10 more miles out of this?
I mean, I don't even know, to be honest. I mean, I'd be cooked after my runs. Like, you know, I did a 40 mile the other night, and then I was just laying down the rest of the day, you know? Like, but I mean, you know, if I didn't stop and had to keep going, I could have kept going. I feel like I have a good, you know, mental toughness and keep going if I really have to. Like, if I know I could bullshit and be like, what's 5 more miles? It's not gonna do shit for me. But if I know I really got to do it, I'll do it.
Okay, if you know it. See, but I mean, like, I feel like that's kind of, I could do that though. Like, if I, like, that's what I mean by when I'm running. Like, if I know, if there's an end result and I know that's what it is, but I'm saying in the middle of a break, like you said, oh, I could have bust out 10 more miles. So that got me questioning, like, can you really sit down, be like, ooh, I just sat down for 30 minutes. Now I think I can go ahead and run 10 miles. Have you ever done something like that?
Resting for 30 minutes? Nah, I think the most I rested was probably like 15 maybe, and then got up. And that was during the 60 miler.
Oh, okay.
I rested for, I think, like max 15 minutes one time. And that was rough starting back up. But then, you got to keep going. And then, you know, once you start moving your body again, it's like your body's either going to lock up or it's going to get loose again.
Yeah.
And, you know, hopefully, you know, it gets loose. You know, if it gets locked up, then you're shit out of luck at that point.
That kind of brings me up to this next question of, you know, running something so, you know, so hard, so hideous on the body. Or is there any fears being out there? Because, I mean, you know, you don't really have a medical team with you. There's nobody that's going to be following you to keep an eye to ensure all of your vitals are good or your body continue, your hydration's right. So during this run, is there any, I mean, even from the 60 now, were there fears in the 60 that carrying on towards the 100? Or is there any fears that are more in the 100 that you feel like can possibly happen?
You know, I'm not sure. I mean, like during my 60, my ribs started hurting and it was hard for me to breathe, and that never happened to me before. And that was just a one-time thing. So, I mean, luckily, you know, I finished it, and that was around mile like 40, 50, somewhere around there. So, I mean, there is, you know, fears, like, but, you know, God forbid, if I die running, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, at least I was doing what I love to do, you know, and I'm trying to do something that most people can't do. But, you know, I know my body. I know when to stop if something like that were to happen. I mean, I'd probably be hard-headed at first, but, you know, I would stop. I mean, you know, that's the only fear I got for the 100 is, you know, not making it because my body's not letting me. Not because my mind isn't. I feel like my mind will get me to 100. It's just, you know, I mean, my pelvis is fucked up. You know, I can't open my strides. You know, I can't Euro step like I used to. So, I mean, I feel like if my pelvis could hold up for 100 miles and that shit just don't fall out, then, you know, I'm good. Or, you know, if a car don't hit me, right. There's that. You know, people can't drive, people don't pay attention. And, yeah, that's the only really fear I got. You know, and disappointing to people, you know, like people count on me to do 100 miles. And if I say, oh man, I stopped at 80, you know, they might be like, oh, good job. But then, you know, in the shadows, they're going to be like, oh, he said he was going to do 100, he's weak, he didn't do 100, you know, so like that.
I feel that. I just want you to take a breath real quick. You know, you gather. There's a lot. And I just want to make sure everything is still good. I mean, being hurt on that amount of distance is crazy. Because that would be probably one of the worst things that I can think about happening is pretty much getting a do not finish over an injury. Let me ask you this. I mean, what are some other things that you do other than just like pretty much dedicating your life to the run club and of course putting in these crazy journey runs?
I coach my son's sports teams, and then really just be chilling. I don't really do much outside of, running, hooping, coaching my son's teams. That's pretty much my life. It's a very simple life if you think about it, but I mean, it's a very stressful one at the same time. So,
and so could you kind of like give us a little bit of a flashback or give us one of your most memorable moments of your last ultra?
I mean, it's a lot of memorable moments. Running with my run club was a pretty big deal to me, seeing how many people I had out there supporting me. Obviously finishing the race, and seeing everybody at the finish line. But I'd say the most memorable moment is probably when Miguel ran with me, like for sure the last 30 neck beside me. I was cussing people out. I was irritated. I was mad, frustrated. And then he just stuck by my side the whole way. He was asking if I needed stuff. And then it was just one time he was like, "You feel like talking?" I said, "Nope." And he just stayed silent the whole run with me. And he was just right next to me asking me if I needed anything. And then that was it. And then he just stuck with me all the way to the end. And I'll forever be grateful for Miguel because, I mean, that was something. Because he could have ran faster if he wanted to, He could have been mad that I wasn't talking and wanted to go talk. He didn't have to carry the shit that, I needed because I hate wearing a vest. So yeah, I think, appreciate Miguel for doing that for me. That's real solid of him.
That's dope. No, man, I mean, I applaud anybody who can deal with you writing cursing in any kind of, talking time. Anybody who could deal with that and just want to stick around to see that is an honorable person. So shout out to Miguel. With that being said, is there anything that, you would change running in that last ultra?
Nah, I mean, maybe strength training more. So, I had more muscle on my body, but other than that, nah, I mean, it was a perfect day to run. I mean, it was a little hot. The causeway was death. Just, it's 5 miles of just straight, no shade. It's the end of the run. But nah, man, I wouldn't change anything, everything happened how it was supposed to happen. And yeah, I mean, it was just a good day to run.
Okay. Coming back to this 100-mile run, have you ever had any nutrition or like hydration issues in the past?
Nah, not really. I mean, of course, if I don't drink water or electrolytes, I'd be dehydrated for a run, but I never really had any issues with hydration or anything. Occasionally you get the cramp, but I feel like that's inevitable. Sometimes you're going to get a cramp, sometimes you're not. I can go a night of drinking and go bust out a 15-mile run and not have nothing happen to me. And then I can have, what I consider the best night's sleep, filled up, and then I'll go run 8 miles, and it would be like the hardest 8 miles of my life. So I feel like it's a hit or miss. But you just got to find what works for you. Whether it's gels, candy, or whatever. Like I rather drink Coke, instead of drinking water or Gatorade during a race. So I mean, it's just personal preference.
Coke?
Yeah, Coke, the soda.
Wow.
Soda, yes.
I was like, for a minute, I was thinking something else, but that's
nice. Say no to drugs, kid.
Say no to drugs. That way, but I mean, say no to soda. Like, that's basically a drug, but never mind. That's another topic. But I guess, let me ask you this. Now that we're on that, like, what are some things that help you? Like, when you said gels, is there anything else you would recommend, like, for fueling while you're out there on the 100?
peanut butter jelly sandwiches, gummy bears, M&Ms. When you're running an ultra, I mean, you pretty much want real food. So, I mean, whatever you like. I mean, I know people eat potatoes and weird shit.
I mean, smelling like chicken while running is wild. But with that being said, I mean, you talk about some of the aid stations. Where is the what's the route that you're going to be doing for this run?
I'm gonna start at my house in Vallejo, run across the Carquinez Bridge, you know, going through Pinole, Richmond, Berkeley, Oakland, down to Castro Valley, cutting across Castro Valley, hit Dublin, and then just run back, you know, San Ramon, Danville, Walnut Creek, Concord, Martinez, Benicia, back to Vallejo, hopefully, you know, 100 miles, 24-hour run, hopefully 24 hours. But, yeah, it's going to be a journey.
Is that, so that's the goal, is to finish within 24 hours as far as for the time frame you're kind of like putting on yourself?
Yeah, I mean, that I've been doing research, and most 100-mile races are 24-hour races. And, you know, I just don't see myself going further than 24 hours. You know, maybe 25 if something goes wrong, but after that, it's kind of like, what's the point of keep going at that point?
Right. Damn, that's, I mean, 24 hours. You did something recently that I kind of watched on social media where it's like y'all did something like every 2 or 3 hours where you guys kind of like tapped in. How was that?
It was hard. It was the 4x4 by 48 challenge. You run 4 hours every 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. And, you know, after the first couple runs, it got hard because, you know, you're barely sleeping, if sleeping at all. I didn't really sleep. I probably slept maybe a total of 2 hours within that span. And me, I got to take a shower after every run. So that's what I got tired of, is taking hella showers. But I feel like that was like a good, even though it was kind of a little bit while ago, that it would be good. Like, I knew I could keep myself up for that amount of time. So I feel like that was a good little, you know, engage at it if I could stay up for 24 hours running.
How many people were involved in that?
In the little challenge?
Yeah.
A few of my run club people joined me for the run. I'm the only one that did the whole thing, but I had majority, at least one person at each segment. So I mean, that's what got me. That's what got me there. Yeah, and then that was it. That's when, you know, I'm getting old. I can't remember shit, but
it happens.
Yeah, I had someone there every day. I was about to quit I think it was the second day, and like I just wasn't gonna get up, and then my boy Mario just was like, "I'm outside your house," and then I was like, "Fuck," and then I finished it. I don't think, if he wouldn't have showed up, in my head I wasn't gonna do it. So, you know, you always need someone to push you.
I love that.
So similar to your 60 run, on this one, are you expecting to have any like additional runners that will like be helping you along the way?
Yeah, you know, hopefully I have, you know, the same amount or more runners for the 100, you know, 24 hours. So it's gonna take quite a while. But yeah, I got a few people signed up so far at different segments to get me through the run. Hopefully my boy Mod runs the whole 100 with me, like he said he was. But yeah, I'm gonna have some runners with me because I'm gonna need them to get through the race.
Okay, that's fair. And like, other than the people who can't like physically be there for you, I mean, throughout the run, is there any way that people who want to support you want to be able to get out there and like, whether it's funding, whether it's buying any kind of merchandise or anything like that? What ways can people out there fund you? Because I'm going to have your cash out down here, of course, with the Vallejo Run Club. But I want to just be sure that we can do whatever we can to help you with that funding.
Yeah, you could donate. I am taking donations for the race. The funds will go towards the aid stations that I want to have, the medals for the runners that's running, the shirts that I'm gonna get. Cause it's gonna be a real unofficial race, so you get everything that you would get at a real race, but you're gonna get it there. So hopefully I reach my goal. So I need a little bit more donations, but hopefully I get there. And then also, you could support by buying the Vallejo Run Club merch. The proceeds will go to the Run Club, and also my run. Here's a few of our latest designs. The little VRC in the corner with the Vallejo runner in the back describing what a Vallejo runner is, and we got the barcode right here for our Instagram. This shirt was made with love. And also, this is my favorite design. Sorry I was running because, a lot of people got to explain why they got to run. You just got to go out and do it, right? You know what I'm saying? And, I want to give both of these to you, my man.
Oh, swear?
Swear, man.
Hey!
Good for you, man. I appreciate you.
Y'all must think me definitely rocking this. For sure. Thank you, man. Oh, man, come on. I get a appreciation, my brother. Thank you.
So good,
I appreciate that. Y'all see me, man? I'm getting free shit, man. Nah, man. Thank you, man. That's greatly appreciated. I have a million shirts from Rude that I've physically purchased. So it's really nice to get free stuff because I bought a lot of shirts in support of him. Like a lot, like almost every shirt that I've ever had from him, I bought. So, nah, I'm capping. Okay, he definitely gave me a ton of free run shirts. So I mean, we here, man. I mean, we are in preparation for this 100 miles. It sounds like you're in the right mindset. It sounds like you're ready. You're determined to, of course, get it done within 24 hours, which is, hugely something that, I think a lot of people have to admire, man, because I can't see myself running 100 miles. I never see myself to even thrive to push myself something that difficult, but it's really amazing to see that you're getting ready to do this. And I'm just happy we're here to give you your flowers while we can on this. But after this 100 miles, I mean, you said this is probably it, but just in case, if it happened to just get the itch again, what do you think it will be?
It would probably be a blow to LA run. Over a span of days, but like I would run 40 miles sleep, and make my way all the way down to LA. If I had the itch, I would do that. But as of right now, 100's it. I don't got nothing else to prove after 100. So yeah, but I mean, if it comes to that's what I'll do. But that's I don't know. Something got to strike me to do that.
That's honestly, bro. You might be really run, Forrest, run. Like you might really be Forrest Gump out here, boy. Because I mean, if you do the LA, that's some Forrest Gump type of demeanor. Like one day I just got up and I started running. Like I can't think of nothing else that you go to. And I'm over there running the LA back is crazy. You would run back too?
Nah, just straight there. I'll come back. It's just a one-way trip, man. A one-way trip. I can't. I ain't doing nothing back. There's really nothing to prove. If you run to LA, you don't need to run back. It ain't nothing.
It's already straight like that now. I don't know. I mean, you might just have to itch. That's crazy, but
nah, that itch ain't never gonna get scratched right back.
But before we go, man, is there anything else, man, that you would like to say? Any words of wisdom that you would like to say to the listeners?
Just first and foremost, thank you to everybody that's part of the Vallejo Run Club, that supports me and everything I do for not only the Run Club, the community as well. And then also, man, if you put your mind to something, you could do it, regardless of if someone's telling you not to.
just go out there and do it. Like, you know, don't worry about what other people think. Just do it. I love that. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think that should be your next shirt. Just do it. You know, Nike might come after me, so you know I might have to change it up a little bit. That's the show, man. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We definitely appreciate it. We look forward to seeing you after the run, just so you know, guys. And this is just a part 1 of this. There will be a part 2 where we will be getting some shots of Rue running out there on the 100. At least some of those beginning shots, try to catch the ending. And then we'll have a post interview with him to talk about how that run went. And we're looking forward to that. But until next time, just know we here at the About a Dale Time show really fuck with you. Till next time, peace, love, and happiness. Peace. Thank you, my brother, for real. I was looking at that saying, this is dope.